Hello everyone and welcome to the McGonagall Boxing Podcast. What a night of boxing. Let's get straight down to it, shall we? Dubois, Joyce post-fight. Joyce stops Dubois in round 10. He makes Dubois quit. It was a shocking sight. Boy oh boy, how tough is Joyce though? What a chin, what stamina. Listen, I have no shame at all in saying I called that completely wrong. Well, it's weird, isn't it? Because I was wrong and I was right. Yes, Dubois was explosive at times. Yes, he caught Joyce, which we knew he would do. Caught him with some haymakers. Had him buzzed at times, certainly in round 3, where he thought, goodness me, this could be over. But Joyce's chin, I mean, there's punches there in the 3rd round. Right hand flush that would knock other opponents out that Dubois faced, and Joyce would just eat them up and keep coming. He truly is the Terminator, the juggernaut. I did expect Dubois to start more explosive in the 1st round. He was a bit tentative, then he came to life in the 2nd and 3rd, and then he kind of hung back. And I was a bit surprised with Dubois at times. There wasn't punches in bunches. There wasn't the right and the left. It was more just one big looping hand, which kind of, Joyce took. But then if Dubois would have followed up with a combination, then I think he could have really worried Joyce. But he didn't. And he allowed Joyce to recover from them haymakers. Another thing that was confusing about Dubois, and I'm not one of these people that jumps on the bandwagon after a loss, because there were positives from Dubois last night. There were, but where were the body shots? We said this, didn't we? That Dubois got a beautiful body shot. That's the shot that you need to chop the tree down with. We know how tough Joyce was. I didn't realise he was that tough. Look at the Jennings fight. That was the blueprint, wasn't it? To the body. Yeah, that's how you soften him up. Then to the head. There was none of that. Where was the left hook from Dubois? He's got a beautiful left hook. It was surprising. Another thing that's evident, and we feared, is Dubois, like Yard, like AJ, the over-muscular body frame has got stamina issues. He was blowing out of his backside after round 5, wasn't he? You could see the sweat pouring off him. He was slumped in the corner. His trainer was constantly, come on Daniel, trying to give him the pep talk. But that's another thing we'll get to in a second. But his gas engine is not good. Probably because he hasn't been tested like that. He hasn't been made to work. Joyce kept coming, to be fair. I could see the tide turning after about round 5 when Dubois stopped being the chaser and went back, and Joyce started to dictate the pace. That was a big telltale sign, because it's like, I always said, I was watching it, I said, this is Holyfield Tyson. Dubois cannot fight going backwards. Joyce is slowly but surely bullying the bully. And that's what he did, the juggernaut. He flipped reversed the script. He survived them first 5 rounds. I had it 3-2 to Dubois, but I was worried for Joyce. I thought, he's getting hit here. But like everyone predicted, and for once, the so-called experts were right. It played out the script, didn't it? He survived in the first 5 rounds. Dubois was slowly but surely gassing out. Joyce kept coming and coming. And that jab was a thing of beauty. It is so accurate. It's unbelievable. I mean, it just peppered Dubois' eye. He never stopped coming. And literally, Joyce won that fight on a jab. He was smart, because when he was trying to throw a combination, because he's slow, there's no question about it, Dubois was able to counter. So he kind of stopped throwing his right hand and just peppered the left jab. That kept his defence tight and stopped Dubois from coming over with his own right hand, which he got caught with early on. So Joyce made adjustments. People were saying, where was the right hand? He didn't need the right hand. He could see the damage that was doing the jab, and he was able to shore things up. He was able to get back into a tight defence. Whenever he tried to throw a right hand, that was when he was getting caught himself. So, smart tactics, good footwork as well. Sometimes I'd see Joyce dancing off to the side. I thought, what are you doing? But actually, it was very effective, because Dubois was trying to follow up, and he couldn't. So, it was a case of, Joyce was always out of range for Dubois' next big shot. If he did get caught, he was avoiding the next shot that probably would have knocked him out. So, very smart from Joyce. Again, probably the experience, and I don't want to keep you saying about the Olympic experience because, you know, that's not always relevant, as it proved with Audley Harrison, but his big fight experience in the pros, certainly, Stavern, Jennings, spring to mind straight away, in the fact that he follows a game plan. He's stuck to a game plan. He's that age now, 35, where he's experienced and mature enough to stick to a game plan. Had he just gone toe-to-toe with Dubois, I think he would have got knocked out. But he was disciplined. We can see him throw far more shots, an array of punches, but he knew if he did that, especially that right hand that he kind of leans forward with, he's more acceptable to getting caught and knocked out. So, listen, I'm very impressed with Joyce after that. I didn't think he'd be that tough. I didn't think he'd be that smart. And I didn't think he'd be able to make adjustments like he did. Is he good enough to beat Fury? No. I think someone with big footwork is going to cause him all kinds of problems. Because he is slow. There's no question. His feet are slow. His hands are slow. But he is tough as nails. I think Usyk dance rings around him. I think Usyk beats him. I think Fury beats him. I think AJ... It's tough. AJ's not knocking out Joyce. I don't care what anyone says, but I think he'd probably get the better of him in a points decision. I think that would happen, and I think obviously AJ's more experienced and he's got more punches, and I think he beats Joyce on points. Fury beats him out easily, boxes him on points, and I think Usyk beats him on points. Everyone else, I think Joyce beats White. I think he walks him down. I think styles make fights. I think he stops White, who's acceptable for the gassing out. I think he beats up Chisora, an aging Chisora. So, credit. Joyce has earned himself a big money fight now, either with Usyk or Joshua. He deserves that. I don't think he beats either of them, but he's better than I thought he was. As for Dubois, it's disappointing, isn't it? I mean, he's got power, and he's going to knock out a lot of fighters at British and European level. There's no question. He's explosive, he's strong, huge right hand, but he's got to go back and learn the head movement. He's got to learn how to defend a jab, get out the way of a jab. He's got to have a plan B. You know, he thought, right, I'm just going to throw haymakers, throw my big right hand, I'm going to get him out of there. When that didn't work, he looked shot of ideas. He needs to have something to fall back on if his big shots aren't working. He needs to improve his stamina, a bit like Yard does. He needs to go and almost lose a little bit of that muscle mass and be able to fight for 12 solid rounds. Maybe go down to 17 stone. Or just under 17 stone to work on his stamina, and he also needs to get back to his punch variety. The reason, and I don't want to sound like a Tyson fanboy, but the reason Mike Tyson was so great at 5'10" and 215 pounds was his punch variety in his prime. We're talking 86 to 88. It was unbelievable to the body, to the head, the left hand, the right hand, the number combinations, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He had 8 punches he could knock you out with, and a lot of the punches you didn't see coming. Look at Holmes. Yes, he was old, but he didn't see that right hand coming, and Holmes had never been knocked out before or since the Tyson fight. That's what made Tyson devastated. Dubois needs to look at that and go, right, rather than just continually throw my right hand, I need to improve my punch array to the left hand to the body, left hook. He's got it. He needs to start using it, especially in these big fights. That's what would have beaten Joyce, with variety. Punch variety rather than headhunting all the time. Where were his body shots? Where was his stamina? And more importantly, I hate to say it, where was his heart when the going got tough? You could see he was gassing out, and ultimately he quit, didn't he? His eye was bad. I believe he's got an orbital bone broken. It was swollen. But you know what? Marciano fought with no eyes. Literally in his world title fights. Ali fought 12 rounds with a broken jaw. Holyfield fought with a bloody heart condition and a broken orbital bone. This is what makes champions. The bottom line is he had a round and a half left. Yes, he's not comfortable, but he had a round and a half left. Champions suck it up. They find a way. Would Fury have taken a knee? No. I think Cole Frampton summed it up. I'd rather be carried out than taking a knee. And I'm not saying, obviously, you want people carried out, but you get the message. You don't quit. Dubois quit. There's quitting him now. That's the problem. Other fighters now fearing him are going to see that. If I can just get through them first 4 or 5 rounds, jab, fight smart, avoid that big right hand, I'm going to wear him down. I'm going to make him quit. That's what fighters, certainly at European and world level, are thinking now of Dubois. He's got a long road back. He's still only young. He can rebuild, but he's got to make a lot of changes, and he's got to take a lot of home truths. As for Joyce, he rolls on. The juggernaut rolls on. He faces Usyk or Joshua. Don't think he beats either of them, but he's earned that big money shot. Congratulations. As for Dubois, he needs stamina, he needs heart, and he needs a slow but sure rebuild.